That's what you sound like. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Why you hating on StreamYard, bro?
I don't want
They
the
provide
logo
great
in
service.
there though. I mean, all right, it is what it
They
is.
provide us with great services.
Do
You should
they?
want to shop. Yeah.
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
Felix in the chat. What's up, everyone? Zane Beto, we
What up,
lurking.
Felix? What
Ernest
up, Zane?
Claiborne the third. Let's go. All
Mr.
right, yeah, we in
Claiborne.
here. We in here. All right. Let's see here. I got two different systems that I'm working with now between StreamYard and this other side. So
No, you ain't got to worry about that other side. Only the side we on. We on that StreamYard. You feel
that's
me?
crazy. We on that StreamYard. You feel me? Yeah. Apparently they look like a sponsor with this logo sitting right here.
We SY gang, boy. What you mean?
SY gang is crazy. They need to pay a SY check.
Nah, we got it. The first year is pro bono.
That's
Pro
not how
bono.
this works. That is definitely not how this
You
works.
see how we streaming all pristine? Sounds great. How's the sound, people? Y'all
Yeah,
let us know how the
we
sound is.
definitely need to know how the sound is for sure. Let us know
I
what
bet it
we.
sounds terrific.
It should sound terrific.
Yeah, because
Oh, you know what? Let me.
it's on that SY gang. You feel me?
I'm gonna raise your vocals and
SY
lower
gang.
mine. Chillmonger in here talking about StreamYard.
Yeah. Level up.
Yikes! Yikes! Big yikes! Felix says
Leveled
we
up.
sound good. Felix says we sound
I
good.
bet we do. Yeah.
Well, we also sound good because your mic sounds good too.
Well, thanks.
It does.
Thank you.
Everything's good. Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Everything's as it should be. I don't know why you have this condescending tone, but everything's working.
No, I'm saying you finally provided me the mic, the USB mic. So great.
Great.
Terrific.
Absolutely. Still sounds kind of condescending. Anyway, what are we starting with? Are we starting with behind the cape, or do you want to start with W's and L's?
Don't matter to me.
I still have to pull up your bookmarks. Do you have any bookmarks that you're going off of today? Because you're going first.
I mean, I got them all written down, so you can
Okay.
take your time with the bookmarks.
X.com.
It just sounds like we're going to a porn site, right?
It sure does.
Oh no, a new login alert.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay. I'm like, why did my phone just go off?
Who might it be?
All right. Anyway.
Okay. Someone's trying to hack our account.
Do I need to add another screen?
Forever fan pages.
All right, I'm gonna stop that screen and we're gonna present with this one.
They're gonna subscribe to all the Kathleen Kennedy fan groups.
Gross. All right, we're doing this one. Boom. Okay, and then let me go to the bookmarks. See, I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to get it all together. You feel me?
What are we doing? Dubs and L's first?
We doing dubs and L's, bruh.
Okay, cool.
But I gotta get to where we need to be. So you should probably tell me which one you're starting off with, and then I'm going to
right at the top. You can literally start at the top.
Right at the top. Okay. Yep. And then I'm going to hide it so that I can say, no, not that one. W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we like and an L to the things that we don't. It's on you.
All right. So let's start out with, well, you know what? No, we're at the top. So we got to start with an L. All right. So as you can see from the little ditty on the screen there, and from probably has been going viral on your algorithms this weekend. I think this is the first week of Wendy Williams' show on Lifetime where they're kind of documenting her dementia.
Oh wow, they already have a show for that?
It's on Lifetime.
Damn, I just heard about this.
It's on Lifetime.
Okay.
So yeah, like as this is clips from it on the screen right now.
Okay.
And so like I really feel a way about this. I don't feel a way about Wendy Williams. Before y'all get in here, y'all tell me what a terrible person she is and all this other stuff, because I know. It is just that I feel like right now, even more so than figures like R. Kelly that have brought it on themselves, this is like the waning moments of this woman's sanity, really, like her cognitive function kind of slipping away in real time.
Mm,
Viewing it like this for consumption on Lifetime doesn't feel right,
I would agree.
especially when you got clips like this. The clip that's running is talking about how her son then ran up 100K and Wells Fargo froze the account because he just spending $120,000 birthday party, $80,000 for rent. You know what I mean? Like it's outlandish. It's crazy.
100K in Uber Eats orders is nuts.
It's nuts. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, fam. Like, dog, you would spend less than 100K hiring a full time private chef.
You know?
I would pay. You could pay a private chef 75 to 80K to come to your house and save a whole bunch more money than you just did buying whatever the hell you was buying off of DoorDash.
Be a hell of a lot healthier too.
I this feels weird, man. It feels sick. Like Black China was the first clip that I seen. I didn't even know Black China and Wendy Williams was cool. And if it was genuine, then fine, I guess. But like, this feels like the wrong time to be having her in the public light, man. Like, she clearly doesn't have it together, and nor should she. She's suffering from dementia.
Yeah.
So it's honestly just a little weird to view it in this way because this is not how you typically, send your loved ones into the twilight years of their life. When they've lost their cognitive function, you don't really see people doing that
Mm-hmm.
to this degree. Like, yeah, put them in a home, or maybe you don't see them as often, but like putting them on TV so that you can keep cashing in on their likeness while they're, somewhat still sane, feels wrong to me.
Especially when Bruce Willis has proven to you that there's probably better ways to do what it is that you're trying to do.
Bruce Willis spammed like 20 movies in 2 years and then went and sat down. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see obviously what happens with Chris Hemsworth, because he has something of the same
Mm.
same
Yep.
in his genes. But I just don't see this being a route. Like, yeah, get me on reality TV before I start peeing myself. I don't think that shit is cool.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely agree.
Oh, where are we going? Where are we going?
Other bookmarks?
Um, yeah, scroll down. Or no, 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 no. I'm gonna just stay on the L side. I'm gonna stay on the L side, and I don't think I have anything else in
All right.
there. So apparently there has been a mass media like layoff spree. Did anybody else know that BuzzFeed went out of business? Call me stupid. I had no fucking clue. No clue. And apparently it's like just one in a long list of media corporations that have been doing layoffs, CNN and the such and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Disney has been laying people off for a few years now. So in light of that, Google takes that opportunity to test a few things out. Do we really need these quote unquote news organizations on the internet? Do we really need that to be an openly accessible part of our interwebs? Let's see. Do you know that they had a trial without the news button on the search engine?
What?
They were testing out, in light of all of the media layoffs. They were testing out going. I think that actually is in the bookmarks. I do think that's in there somewhere. But yeah, they were
Boom.
testing going without the news tab.
Oh, it's still on that. Hold on. Boom.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. Amid mass media layoffs, they're going to
Okay. All
try
right.
and remove the damn button. Now, by the time I went and checked, it was still on there. So this must have been something that already happened and nobody knew about until they wrote an article about it. But like, you want the internet without the news? Like, you want the search engine without the news? Like, without what's currently going on? Like, man, yo, I don't know what's going on, but something's going on in terms of like what our media apparatuses and what's happening right now in the market. That's not a normal thing. And let's just try it without news. You know what I mean? Let's just try to run this thing without letting people know what's actively happening in the world today. Now, let's think about some of the shit that's been going on over the last 2 years, right?
Uh-huh.
Not just the wars, because wars are wars. Wars happen all the time, and you could point to any area of the world at any given moment in history, and we could find a war. That's not out of the ordinary. What else have we been hearing? Whole lot of shit about certain court cases where certain high profile people have had those court documents released with their names all over them, even though we still haven't gotten a certain flight list, right? That would be a more pretty convenient time not to have a news tab. Also, when our US government has all but confirmed that we are in the presence of extraterrestrials. Y'all can call me crazy if y'all want to, but Google, literally, Google, the key, the gateway to my generation's information overload is now trying to provide said information without letting you know what currently is happening, or at least testing the waters to see how mad you'll get. It's just a lot of stuff going on that you would like to keep out of public consumption or public discussion at the moment. So take it for how you will.
The only thing I can think of is that somebody in those, the exec room was thinking like, oh, well, the word news has bad connotation to it. But even if somebody did say that,
the word news has bad connotations?
Yeah, like I feel like some people, they think about what the news is and they think, oh, like every time I look at the news, it's something negative. Like I don't fuck with the news, right? Regardless. And especially in post Trump fake news era, like I feel like there's a good percentage of people.
There's maybe some apathy towards the news.
Sure.
Bit, maybe.
But even then, even if you get rid of said button, I still need a way to get my news.
like only news. Like I don't want Wikipedia right now. I don't want Google Images or videos or show me where this is on a map. I need to know what happened with this subject in the last 30 days. How else do you provide that to me without a news app?
I got nothing. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, it makes sense if they're
hiding something.
The right people. Yeah, if you're taking money from the right people, it makes complete sense.
No, that's fair.
You know what? I think both. By golly, by G, both of these are in the bookmarks.
All right.
Next L I got is going out to Navy Federal Credit Union.
They deserve it.
Yes, they do.
This one here. Whatever you're talking about, I don't know anything about, but they just deserve it in general.
They deserve it.
Boom.
Let's get them up there. So, Navy Federal Credit Union has revealed that they have let me get you enlarge that for me. No, I'm blind.
Yeah, hold on.
Basically, they've been denying a lot of black credit applicants or loan applicants. A lot of them. Let's see, at a rate of 52% for African Americans, Latino home applications at a rate of 44%, white applicants at just a rate of 23%. These are all denial percentages. So 23% of white people, 44% of Latino, 52% of African Americans for Navy Federal Credit Union. Now, I don't know if anybody is familiar with Navy Federal, but it is a credit union, and it's a credit union for vets.
Yep.
For veterans and families of veterans. You know what I mean?
That's insane.
So it's one thing when you're Wells Fargo or your JP Morgan Chase or your who else has been out here taking shit from people. It's one thing when you're those banks and you just have a naturally predatory arc about you. You have a naturally, let me pillage all the money out the poor neighborhoods and take it off to my rich stakeholders kind of feel to you. You feel like Scrooge McDuck already. But you like to feel like the credit unions that cater specifically to vets are above the board. Those are the ones that us regular, civilians would love to get into. Shit, love to get some Navy Federal credit. Hell yeah, man, let me get in there.
Yeah, no, that's insane. That is insane.
Like, damn, even the black veterans, huh? It don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Go fight the fishes for the country. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Especially when there's service members benefits that they should be taking advantage of anyway, so they probably shouldn't be getting rejected.
Anything from Navy Federal at all. Shouldn't even be fucking with y'all. By the fact that they're coming to do business with you is a courtesy. Because the loan packages available to American veterans in this country is vast at any financial institution. You don't have to go to one specifically set up for vets to do this. So they really like giving you a family feel when you're doing that. So for them to turn it over like this, and you see it's a Benjamin Crump that's been taking on this case against them right now, it really it hits in a different way because you would like to think that things like military service or being a police officer or a doctor, there are certain respectable professions that you like to think as black people kind of gives you a certain maybe a leg up, whether it's real or not. At least that's the thought going in. Like, I'm gonna bust my ass, I'm gonna get through all of this training or these years of school, wherever you had to do to get there, because this is going to better my situation.
Yeah.
Navy Federal says you just another nigga on the block, boy.
Or
Navy or not,
Hispanic person.
just another vato on the block and say,
Yo.
"Orale vato."
Yeah, no, the whole thing
Yete
is
cabrón.
absolutely insane that they're just over 50%.
Over 50%, 52%, man, 52%. It's nuts.
Damn shame.
It's absolutely nuts. Da, 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 da. Okay, I think I got one more. Scroll down to the Powerball one. So like I really think that gambling.
I'd rather you talk about this.
I'm going back there. I'm going back there. Wait till the dubs.
There we go.
Here, Powerball. There he is.
Can you read
So
that or
I
no?
really think that gambling right now, it's not necessarily. It is a booming industry,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's something akin to how a lot of economists or a lot of right wing politicians felt about the stimulus checks, in that it afforded people some extra money to put in the bank, some relief from some of this paycheck to paycheck paying order, some security, some extra security to go out and spend, so that they're not so tied or so married to their day job that it almost feels like slavery, like wage slaving. Like, I have to do this only for the sake of living, of surviving.
Mm-hmm.
When people have that slight slither of little birth, and you've seen that same thing exponentially in other places like Canada or Sweden or the Netherlands or whoever paid their people month over month to stay home. And they didn't like that. They didn't like that extra financial freedom from the working class sector of the economy. Even though it was only one check, for that brief amount of time, you saw savings go up, you saw debt go down, and all it took was one check, right? So now you have the gambling industry. Casinos popping up everywhere. You can gamble on your phone in most states. Sports gambling is legal. You can bet on pretty much anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so while there are a lot of evils to gambling, for sure, definitely, especially if you're dealing with some sort of addiction,
Right.
there's also the very real reality of fast cash, and only starts getting taxed at what, $12,000. So you have the potential of increasing your annual income by at least $11,000 before you have to start worrying here of tax-free money, and the only thing you got to do is pick right, playing the game, right? And here we are. Here we are. Just when people start finding a way or start making a way out of their situations, the Powerball in this gentleman's area got up to $340 million. And despite him having the same matching numbers that were pulled, they claim it was a mistake. Now, riddle me this. What mistake can there be when you pull the numbers? You decide what the numbers. I don't know. There's no way for me to know. You pick the numbers. So unless you're saying that the numbers that you posted were a mistake and the winner is still out there, which would also be bullshit, then you're going to have to run me my cash, fam. I hope he got a good lawyer. I hope he got a good ass lawyer. $340 million? Because it's
That's
not
insane.
just this, right? This has been happening to people at casinos a lot lately. They hit the jackpot, dude, the pit boss come down, whoever working the floor, and be like, it was an error. What It wasn't an error when I was sitting there feeding at 20s. It wasn't an error when this gentleman was probably buying $50 worth of scratch offs since he retired. but it's an error when he wins. Fuck that. Fuck that. Pay that man
Rigged.
his money. Pay
Rigged.
that man his money.
That's insane. three
Pay
hundred
that
and
man
forty
his
million
money.
dollars. I come to collect, and you want to say it's a
Oh, it's in
mistake?
DC. It's in DC.
It's
Gotcha.
a mistake,
Mhm.
bro.
It's a
Cut me
mistake.
my
What the
check.
fuck does that even mean? What do you mean? Yeah, it was a mistake. You let a nigga like me get $340 million. You damn right it was a mistake. Run me my cash.
Bro, cut me my check expeditiously.
What the fuck is he talking about? Uh, all right, that's it for the L's. I did have a toss up that I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
Don't get too deep. So there was a report done a few weeks ago while the Super Bowl was going on, and it was about traffic on Twitter, what kind of engagement they were getting, people interacting. This report estimated, and hold on to your seats, folks, because
Uh-oh.
this is going to really expand your mind on one of the oldest social media apps, but slowly becoming one of the most toxic, or probably the most toxic. And yeah, I'll just lay it out there for you. So during the Super Bowl, one of the most heightened socially times, or the most connective times of the year, 76% of the traffic on Twitter was bot driven. It was fake.
I
Didn't come
believe
from
that.
real.
I actually kind of believe that.
You want to know why that blows my mind? Because on a night like the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, the college football playoffs,
All-Star weekend.
the All-Star weekend, the Grammys, the VMAs, the Oscars, these are socially driven times. These are times that you do not have to convince people to get on social media and share shit
Mm-hmm.
or talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Or seek out other people's opinions online. These are natural breeding grounds for people to want to talk to other people about what's going on. The Super Bowl is the single biggest sporting event in American sports. If 3/4 of the traffic on your app at the time of the Super Bowl is fake, that means throughout the week leading up to the Super Bowl, nothing but fake traffic is going on that app. Go to your Twitter right now. Pick out the 5 people that you know online and offline. Like, you can see this person's avatar, know who he was. You can see him in their real life human body, and you would know who they were. Pick them out. Those are the only 5 people on your Twitter that are real. I'm sorry. Number one, stop. And I mean fucking stop gauging reaction for products and shows and movies off of Twitter scuttlebutt. It's not real. It's not real. I said this 2 years ago before they started doing all these fucking studies, but it is literally, like, quantifiably been proven not to be real, even by its own owner. Elon Musk was arguing that 50-60% of these accounts on this shit aren't even real people. That's why he would try to back out of buying it. Stop gauging the reaction to your products, to your art, to anything really, from Twitter. You know what Twitter is? It is a breeding ground for people to cultivate the sheep. You go onto Twitter to have your mind changed and herded into a box. That's what Twitter is for. It is a psyop. It's a fucking psyop for sure.
That is insane.
I just can't. I don't even understand how. Well, you know what? I do understand why investors are pulling out and why people are pulling their ass. Because if you're going to be a dick and you're mostly selling my product to computers, why would I spend all this money to advertise on Twitter?
Doesn't even make sense.
Algorithms can't buy Coach bags
Or movie
they can't
tickets.
buy subscriptions to Disney Plus or movie tickets. So why the fuck would I give a damn what the majority of Twitter users say when the majority of Twitter users are fake? Dollars and cents speak, not Twitter.
That's a fact. And in a related note, Sharon Moore, go ahead and hit that block button on me, cuz
Why do you want him to block you?
that's the next guy. He's the next one. I got Desmond Howard to block me before the season. Sharon Moore, hit that block button.
very weird.
I'm a
Anyways,
Buckeye.
I got two dubs. First one I got is going out to the 2K lawsuit that's going on right now. So there is a mother and a son suing 2K for his VC, for the VC that he bought on the game.
Okay. Okay.
Apparently, the kid got his parents bought him a rig, built it, put it together, spent thousands of dollars on it. He starts playing 2K, gets really good. They put a whole bunch of money into him so he can buy VC. Now, if you're a 2K player if you're a 2K player, that VC does not carry over from game to game.
Correct.
Right? Which is trash, which is
Garbage.
almost tantamount to theft in my eyes. But anyways,
I've
they're
hated
suing
VC from the beginning, so
they're suing them for that. And it really, I really hate it because you're seeing it now kind of spreading to other games where you can't even, it's one thing if you can buy the VC and kind of like skip the workout montage part of the game, where you actually get good and you build your player up.
yep.
That's one thing. It's another thing if you don't even really make it available to do that at all and only make it available to make your player better by buying VC. That's garbage. And then on top of that, you're going to not let me keep it like I don't own it. I'm sorry. Whether it's gaming studios trying to convince people to take download only and not being used to not having physical copies or not owning their games, or if it's this bullshit with 2K where they're trying to convince you that you don't want to know what their response was to the lawsuit. VC's not real. It's not a real project. It's a fictional thing. So you're not actually buying anything when you're buying VC.
So then why am I paying you money?
Yeah, then I'm not buying VC. Do you know how much money that these people buy? Like, if you actually play 2K, the thousands of dollars that you can put into these games, and to not have it carry, like, you're taking real money from me, and then the currency equates too. You have a currency conversion to what is not real that you sell and you have a conversion rate for. They are going to get bent over in court.
What does VC even stand for?
Virtual cash.
I thought it was currency, but still, same thing. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. You tell me that's not worth anything?
Damn, how is virtual currency not? How are you selling fake virtual currency for real money?
Is Bitcoin not real?
But that's the point. It's like the thing that makes it real isn't whether or not what you get from it is tangible or something you can touch.
It's whether or not it has value.
It's whether or not it has value. Right. The minute you take my dollar from it makes it real. Like the fact that they would even open up their mouth as a legal team and say that out loud makes me furious.
Oh, that's insane.
All right, one more trip back to the bookmarks.
Are we talking about the thing?
Mm-hmm. So
which one is it? There's two tweets here. Does it matter?
Top one. Top one. Yeah. So I'm going to give a shout out to one of our Twitter followers, or maybe I'm just following her. I don't know. She probably, I don't know. Anyways, someone on our algorithm, we got Miss Tamara Charisse. Tamara Charisse, thank you for this tweet. Thank you for warming my heart on a cold, I don't even know when I like this, February 20th. Was that Wednesday? Wednesday afternoon. Tuesday. It was Tuesday afternoon. Cause boy, first of all, let's start with Tiffany. Let's start with Miss Tiffany and her trip to Israel. I mean, as if you couldn't get any worse or make your situation look any worse than what it already is. But yeah, I'm gonna just take a trip over to Israel so I can learn for myself, so I can see with my own eyes. I guess after she touched down in Tel Aviv, she gonna have a one-on-one sit down with Hamas, and they gonna give her a clear breakdown of all their grievances and why they, why they doing what they doing. It's just this propagandist bullshit is all it is. They pay American celebrities, especially black ones, to come over, not here, but go over to Israel And yeah, ain't nothing going on. I ain't hear no bombs. Yeah, I'm over here to find me an Israeli man to get me pregnant. You know, she loved to
Oh
go places to
no.
find men to get her pregnant that aren't black men. Because that's her thing. So yeah, she's a fucking goofball altogether. Like I didn't really expect any more than this from her, to be honest with you. But the tweet is golden for me because so many people don't know this, that Israel, in those illegal settlements that they're setting up in Palestine,
Mm-hmm.
right? The state of Israel doesn't have any restrictions over past criminal convictions, and that does not, and that includes sexual convictions.
Mm.
A large contingency of American convicted sexual predators that migrate to Israel behind the American birthright trip thing that you get for free if you're of Jewish descent here in America, the reparation.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a free birthright trip to go over to Israel, right? Once you get over to Israel, the IDF will literally help you go steal some land from somebody and build a house,
That's
or just take
insane.
it, or just take the house that exists.
Nope, that's insane.
So let's connect all the dots here, just like Miss Sharice did. The American government is funding American convicted pedophiles to go to Israel and to, in tandem, displace and steal land and homes from Palestinian people. It's just one big conveyor belt from American dollar to IDF gun.
So she know what she doing.
And she right in the middle of it. She love it. Or even better, even better, she has no fucking clue, nor does she have an inclination to find out. She's just going to Israel to find a man. Because
That's not even a
they
good
made her
joke.
stop touching children over here. She got to stop touching kids over here, but she's good to go in Israel. And she can
Yo.
find a man to accept her, like Ari Spears.
Good lord. It's not even a good joke. And she
Shout out to
says it
Miss
all the time.
Trinidad. Shout out to Miss Trinidad, Smooth
Yes.
Baby Thigh. That is a crazy name. Miss Trinidad, Smooth Baby Thigh.
There's more to it, I think. Why is there a dot dot dot?
Long ass Twitter. Miss Trinidad, Smooth Baby Thigh.
Is that all it is? I'm clicking it. Oh no, that's all it is. Okay. All right.
Smooth Baby Thigh.
Well, shout out to you. Hopefully you got some followers off of that.
She might be killing us, bro. You don't know.
Still, she can get some more followers.
Sure. Yeah. No, y'all follow up.
Yeah,
follow
she's definitely killing us. But anyway,
that's it. That's it for me.
that's it.
Yep.
All right. Let me take it back to the two. I want to remove this and bring up my other screen. What's going on with chat, man? Chat been chilling. Chillmonger said something about the librarian, which hold on to your hat on that one. And then Latrell said, "Give me my money back then, 2K," which is a fact. But then other than that, chat been kind of quiet today. I don't know what's going on.
Chillmonger said that StreamYard is a fraternity now. You trying to join? You trying to pledge?
Pledging is crazy.
You trying to pledge, Chillmonger?
This is behind the cape. All right, hold on.
Pledging StreamYard.
StreamYard is nuts. Where is my? Here it is. Okay. All right, hold on 2 seconds. I'm gonna find this other thing. You can't see it. Okay, cool.
You have a mischievous look on your face.
Let's just say that the last thing I talk about is especially hilarious, and you'll find it funny. But it's very funny. I was supposed to talk about it last week, but I'm gonna talk about it this week. Okay. But I need to find an article to go with it. That's a video. Okay. And what was? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. No, we'll go with this one. And then
follow up. Chillmonger says you need to follow up on the librarian.
I know I saw that. Tell him to hold on to his hat.
And I'm with you, Latrell Bradshaw. I need my cash back if VC is fake. Then the money should be refundable. Then it should be like a refundable renting thing. You can call something virtual currency and tell you, oh, it's not a real thing. It's fictional.
All right, let me add this screen on here. It's not letting me add the screen. What the fuck? I need to change it. No, I don't want to edit the screen name. Remove it. Just remove it. See, this is why we don't use StreamYard. Present. And share screen. All right. Boom. You can see that?
Yep.
People can see it. Okay, cool. Can we hide my? All right, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway. All right. So the reason I have Club Shay Shay up here is because Mr.
Start
Club
calling him Club Soft.
Mr. Club Shay Shay has had a lot of hit podcast episodes in a row, right? And, you know, he's got Johnny Manziel's the most recent one. He's had obviously hits with Cat Williams and Monique and Desi Banks and so many others, right? Mm-hmm. Good on him. You know, that's great. Obviously, he already has 2.9 million subscribers. And it seems to me that this is starting a trend amongst the sportscaster world because there's a new podcast coming around. Now, before I get into what the podcast is, I want to note that my dad was the one that pointed that I should give this a dub. Okay?
Oh, boy.
This probably deserves a Horny Police intro.
Oh, boy.
Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks.
I did see this.
Have come together to make a podcast that I myself will tune into weekly, regardless of who the guest is. I just want to point that out. Yeah. Yes, I just called out my dad for the exact same reason, but fuck it. Yeah. I'm watching the Two Personal podcast or listening to it.
I don't have much faith. I'm sure they'll get, plenty of high profile male basketball players in on the show. I'm positive.
Especially John Morant.
I have never really enjoyed Joy Taylor. She's a good personality. She's a good analyst. I've never really enjoyed her journalistic approach. She's not a very deep digger unless it has something to do with women or a team that she likes. You know what I mean? Like she's kind of biased in the way that she applies her logic. She will shut her brain down for people that she likes or if it's a woman involved, but then if it's a man she don't like or a team she don't like, she's digging to hell or come home high water, regardless of the evidence that's there. I just don't like her nose journalistically. I don't like where it leads her most of the time. Taylor Rooks, I really haven't seen her do too much journalism other than, the sparing interview here or there. I don't know if she's like a real journalist. But,
well, she does more so interviews. So then you just get so facts like out of it as opposed to opinions. Yeah.
So I just don't know, at least on Shay Shay's side, there is a certain aspect of, at least he's attempting to do a bit of journalism. He doesn't always do it well. He doesn't do follow-up questions very well, but he's at least digging into things that aren't commonly talked about in these people's lives. I don't see Joy Taylor or Taylor Rooks doing that to any NBA player.
Interesting that you say that she is not a deep digger, and that's perfectly fine that you say that she's not a deep digger, because when it comes to Joy Taylor, I will do the deep digging.
Oh boy. I think we need to move
on. The Two Personal podcast. Let me just show you a couple of the reasons as to why I will be watching every week.
They already know. They know the reasons.
Oh, every week. Every week. Good Lord. Okay. Anyways, on to my next dub. Blue Mountain State sequel series with Alan Richardson with Thad Castle is being shopped. Now, my question is, what is this going to be about? Is Thad Castle going to be the new coach, maybe? And then we kind of go from there. I don't know. There's some room for some good. There's some potential room for some bad. And if I remember correctly, I saw the movie. The movie wasn't that good, but the show was amazing. And so I'm here for
Paramount needs to pick this up, right? Paramount at one point was Spike TV, or Spike TV turned into Paramount.
Yeah.
So yeah, Paramount, easy.
The likely destinations are said to be Amazon, where Richardson headlines Reacher, and Netflix, where Blue Mountain State found new audience with the 3-season run that they got from Spike.
Damn, Paramount, you gonna let it slide out like that?
You know who should be in the running, and we'll talk about this a little later, is WB, HBO Max.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how well this is or isn't gonna do. I wasn't a Blue Mountain State fan, but I feel like if your thing is, oh, we're the number one storytellers in the industry, I don't think we start with Blue Mountain State. You know what I mean? I don't think that's a good starting block.
That's fair. No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, sticking to college football. Well, before I get back to other college football news, I want to point out that Zang Beto said, "I'd let them run a train on me," and he was referring to Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks, and that is hilarious. That's hilarious.
But that would imply that both of them
yeah, sure.
At the same time. So run the train's not even the correct terminology. You just need to go straight to peg.
It's okay, Zang. I knew what you meant. I understand the intent.
Nope, I didn't.
A little crazy.
I didn't.
But
or
funny.
I did.
But funny nonetheless.
Freaky frog.
Funny nonetheless. All right. Back to college football information. So we got some news as it pertains to the college football 25 video game. Now, these are all rumors, but I'll be excited to see what actually comes out of this list. So here's a list of things. Real coaches won't be in the game, at least for the first installment. Apparently, maybe they didn't reach a deal with the coaches.
Yeah, you know why? Because there wasn't a fucking Power 5 coach in all of the country who said, yes, please, give me my $600 in a free game.
I knew you were going to say that. That's fair. That's fair. They're going to have to reach a deal when it comes to the coaches. So they clearly didn't deal.
As soon as one of the if Bryce Underwood, well, no, all of your guys is signed up, dummies.
Not all of them.
Caleb Downs and Juggins signed up. Well, the ones who have the power to change this shit is got to be a star who has the balls to say, screw you, you can afford to pay me more than $600. And it shouldn't be a one-time payment either. You shouldn't walk into a college freshman, pay him $600 one time, and then have the right to recreate him for 4 years. It should be an annual payment every time a new game is released. Every time you release a new roster,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Get paid. If you're releasing alternate jerseys, if you're releasing new skins or something like that, anything in addition that quantifies my likeness, you should have to pay me. So this $600 in a game bullshit that they playing is going to have this game get fucked up at some point. I'm telling you.
Maybe.
Because these are college students. These are college students who are taking economics. Okay? They taking economics 101 and within their first couple of semesters.
Are they really taking the class though?
It's not going to take very long for somebody. Northwestern tried to unionize 2 or 3 years ago. Nobody paid them attention because it was Northwestern.
Right.
They already tried to do this. So now you introduce this game is going to be more popular than any game has been in the last, any sports game has been in the last decade. And I'm putting my foot on it right now and I'm claiming it.
Okay.
Right? When they see that, and then they look at the $600 that was spent 9 months ago when they got the damn game, somebody's going to feel a little bit sour about that. It ain't going to take very long. It's not going to take very long at all. As a matter of fact, they've already had to start negotiating better deals for some of the higher paid players already. So now, if I'm Joe Blow on Tennessee and I'm pegged to be starting next season, you think I'm going to let you pay this senior $5,000 while you give me $600? No, I'm going to be the matter of fact, when the game comes out, this dude's probably going to graduate and I'm going to be the guy on the game anyways. So why the hell would you give him $5,000 and not give me $6,000? They're entering into a realm that they haven't been in ever before, and they're starting poorly.
But say nobody agrees to it, right? Obviously, you're not able to create a player who chooses to not be in the game.
If no one agrees to it, then the game doesn't come out. Because then you don't have the right to
recreate. Okay, so what I'm saying is after this year, because it seems like a lot of people are already taking the $600 this year, right? So after this year, they say, nah, fuck that. We don't want the $600 no more. We want to negotiate for a new deal, right? If the game is
which,
already
which you're
good
already
as
doing.
is,
If you see a Power 5 starter on the list, like Hayes Fawcett was putting out all the guys who were committed to the game, those guys got more than $600. Man, stop playing with me.
oh well, I mean, I can't report to that.
Will Johnson.
I'm not saying
an
it's
NIL
wrong.
Deal with him. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's commerce. Will Johnson signed an NIL deal with him, so he's getting more than $600 in a fucking game. But again, if I'm a player who is also giving up their likeness for that game, buddy, we're gonna have to work out like a paying scale, something other than, hey, you get 600 and you come and talk to me in the back room and we'll work something out. Fuck no.
Maybe. I mean, I see where you're right. I see also where some of these kids are getting paid nothing. So,
well,
the third string left tackle isn't getting paid anything.
$600 is the floor, which is, I guess, okay.
I'm sorry. No, not for the game. Not for the
that
game.
floor.
Not for the game. I mean, in NIL, period.
Yeah, but that's separate. Like, EA doesn't have a responsibility to make sure that these players get NIL money. They have a responsibility to make sure they compensate them for what they're taking from them. If the third string center isn't getting a check from any of the local businesses around his university, that's not EA's problem. But you did use his name, his number, and his measurements in this game, just like you used the starting quarterbacks. In that way, neither one is more valuable than the other. Like, his attributes aren't more special than yours as a center on a video game. So it gets very hard. Let me just put it very plainly. A lawsuit's coming. If they continue to go with that frame of payment, it's very easy to see how a lawsuit could be brought, because you don't really have a strong argument saying, well, the likeness or the measurables or the name as it relates to a video game is more, it's worth more from a quarterback than it is from an offensive lineman.
But I guess my point was that third string right tackle isn't getting paid anything anywhere else, and so $600 in a free game.
Be happy with it, $600.
No, not necessarily, but he might be more willing to take it than maybe the backup running back who's about to go into the next season as the starter, and he might be like, "Oh no, I need to get paid more." Right? There's different players, I think.
Sure. And that's where the union comes in to play. You have to centralize everybody's thoughts and what everybody wants out of the situation. If everybody wants a higher floor for what you're able to earn as a college athlete on a video game, then everybody coalesces together.
Yeah.
This isn't about, well, I'm making 5,000, so I don't care about dude that making 600. Or if you dude that's making 600, like, I ain't making NIL money anywhere else, I better just be happy that I'm getting it from here. Thinking like that is going to keep you exactly where you at right now.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
And I don't see it lasting like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Because even look at how college football is now. The second string right tackle was a 5-star. He thinks he should be starting. He thinks he's one of the 5 best offensive linemen on the team. And he probably about to transfer to another team to go prove it. So, like, they're not going to allow you to tell them that they're the low man on the totem pole. They're not doing that in college football anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
Except for Michigan, where we win championships. But other than that, no one is low man on the totem pole. These guys are walking on the campus demand day one. They got pockets full of money. They get to choose their jersey numbers, and then they get first opportunity to start most of the time too. So
well, that's the 5-star. What about the preferred walk-on?
In a collective, in a union, the walk-on means as much as the 5-star.
And that's fair.
Anything outside of that context is going to be lost.
That's fair. That's fair. If you want to demand more, that is the way that you do it. I would agree with that wholeheartedly. But the game is also going to have NIL and transfer portal, which we all expected. Only FBS teams will be in the first installment of the game, but maybe they're working out a deal to get FCS teams in it as well. The game will be completely different than Madden, even though it's ran on the same performance system, which I like because according to Felix, I keep throwing picks, and so this is a great way for me to not throw picks in the game.
Was that an actual, like, real life recording of you throwing an interception playing?
No.
Oh, that would have been so sweet.
No. I have been 4-0 in Madden since that tweet. But anyway, the playoffs and realignment will also be customizable, which is nice because if you want a 12-team playoff, you can have it. If you want a 14 playoff, you can have it. Completely customizable. So I like that. So
4 is where real men played. This 12-team shit.
Well, I mean,
Anyways,
we're all gonna have to play the 12 team shit. So
yeah, the four. If you won during the 4 team era, you know it's just a little. It's a little different. You feel me?
oh,
It's
I
just
agree.
different.
That's why we were the first ones to do it. Anyway,
It's different. And we were the last,
okay, all right, all right.
latest and the greatest,
Okay, I don't know about greatest. You were the latest, but
and
anyway.
greatest.
Uh,
We got the most national championships in the Big Ten.
anyway, I'm going to. Uh, no, it's my last dub. I'm going to get into a story of triumph. But in order to get through the story of triumph, I had to go through some negative things that happened this week. This is about a person that I have spoken about on this podcast before, specifically while you were on break. This person is Michael the Librarian. Shout out to Chillmonger.
Damn.
Okay.
Michael.
Let's start off with the first thing that started this entire thing, from what I'm aware of, is Michael made a tweet. It is a tweet of him and his white mom and his black dad. I didn't need to point out that they were white and black. I just wanted to.
I think you can see that pretty clearly from looking at him.
You can, but I don't know. I wanted to point it out. Anyway, the tweet says, "This is my mom and dad. They raised me as a library kid. My mom homeschooled me, raising me and educating me at the library. My dad's always emphasized the importance of literacy. I've been reading at least 1 hour a day for a long time. I love the library because of them." Great origin story, very positive, and explains why he is where he is now. Makes perfect sense, right? The bad thing is, though, somebody found that tweet and retweeted it and said, "I don't trust him. His presentation is light, but his vibe is dark. I don't be wrong about these things." Okay. We already went through this, right? So why these tweets are still happening is absolute bullshit. This man is spreading nothing but positivity and spreading literacy to those who absolutely need it. So can we stop with this guy is weird, I don't like him? Like, that's out the window.
You know, when you have when someone has like a genuine spirit, like when they genuinely love what they do, or they're just like spreading positive energy and they're just putting it out without expecting to get anything back, it's just who they are. It rubs people the wrong way. It rubs the most destitute people the wrong way. It rubs the people who are most unhappy with themselves and their situations the wrong way. Because who are you just to be so happy with yourself and your life?
Yeah,
I'm miserable. You be miserable too.
Yeah,
who are you? Who are you to be smiling all the time?
Misery
I don't
loves company.
trust that. Ain't no way you that happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's absolute bullshit. It's just like, bro, can y'all just let this man be happy? And so that bullshit led to him making a TikTok in which I'll just play it.
Solano County Library, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for raising me as a homeschool library kid. This is a place where I've always felt safe, where I've always felt like I belong.
You can't hear it?
No.
That's weird. Wait, did you turn your sound on?
Do I?
Well, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. So
that's weird. Maybe, just maybe, they don't do sound coming from stupid StreamYard.
We was just doing it on Saturday. But I mean, the gist of it is, he says I think I remember this. He was like, it's anxiety, it's PTSD.
Yeah, the gist of it is he wanted to resign from his position for the simple fact that he wants to focus on his mental health, amongst other things. Oh, see, everybody else can hear. You can't hear. What's up with that? I think I had it right. I think I know what it is. This needs to go to. We'll just put it to this. Let me know if you can hear it.
Always felt like I've had friends. You gave me my first
I can't,
job
but I've seen it before. It's okay.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, basically he resigned because he wanted. Oh.
Worker, you made me a librarian. I went from library kid to being in charge of the library where I grew up in. It has been the honor of my life. I have made some of my closest friends in my 10 plus years as a Solano County library worker. I love my friends. I cherish them. They mean everything to my heart, to my soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But my last day at Solano County Library will be March 1st. I am leaving to prioritize my mental
Boy,
health, to work
bouncing.
with my mental health check-in team.
But
I'm hoping to make you
I don't
so
think that's
very
going to be
proud.
the end of
I'm
him
hoping-
as a librarian, though.
Well, let me continue my story. So, all right. Basically, he resigned because, like he said, he wanted to focus more on his mental health. But then he also kind of added some other things, like just being an advocate for literacy. Like, he's not going to stop that. It's kind of what he got at. But this came out after Homegirl said the bullshit. So there's probably some sort of link. I mean, guy posts his parents, then somebody says this person has a bad aura, and then he resigns for his
I
mental
don't
health.
think it was necessarily her because I don't think she was the only one. I think it
Sure.
was. This doesn't strike me as a person who's chronically online.
Sure.
And what he's doing through social media, trying to bring people back to libraries, and then this PBS Kids thing that he's got going on.
Oh, see why you got to throw out the spoilers.
Well, he posted in every post. If you've seen this person before, you know that he has some sort of relationship with PBS. Anyways, it's the fact now that he has to be more online as a way of like work. And
Sure.
I think that for somebody who's already kind of tentative on how they keep themselves together on a day, this can set you off. It sets me off as a normal person, or not that he's not normal, but like a person without anxiety or PTSD or a lot of the things that he's afflicted with. So
Yeah.
I think the internet drove him away, to be honest with you. I don't think it had anything to do with her personally. I think it was the internet as a whole.
I wouldn't say it was her specifically. I would say if anything, she probably added to it, but it's just what she did in spirit as a whole kind of added to it. Anyway, okay. So from this point on, the story kind of splits into two. All right. So we're going to start off with the person who made that shitty tweet, Miss Mojo. Since she made that tweet, obviously people have been coming at her neck because she is a piece of shit. So much so that now her Twitter is protected. Obviously,
not a real person.
move.
Oh, well, you know what? It may be. They got 18,000 followers and they only follow 20.
Well, this was her original. This was her original profile pic. It is a real profile pic. And then she changed it to this because she got jumped on Twitter by people who were pissed off about the whole Michael thing.
I be trying not to come after my people who use avatars and not like real pictures of themselves or don't like have media themselves on their Twitter. But that's kind of like the biggest giveaway for me for like bot accounts.
Yeah, no.
Like
she originally had a real avatar. And then she changed it to that.
She changed it to that.
Yeah,
so that's actually her in the pink. That ain't another celebrity person.
Yeah. And this is her in her header, I think. But then, she got her ass beat on Twitter and then quote retweets. And so now she got a neck brace and she's Nikki Parker for some reason. Anyway, so also.
Hey, do you see the link on there? I'm sorry, Michael.com.
You're very attentive. You're very attentive. Okay, so. All right, so her bio changed as well. She said, I made a joke on Twitter that was amplified in super dark ways. I take full accountability for the impact over the intent. This is my story. Now, I don't know when it was this. I didn't see this. The link when I looked at it wasn't this. But now she has a YouTube link, which goes to a unlisted video. So you can only see the video if you click on the link from her bio. And it's this bullshit.
Oh, boy.
Hey, it's Miss Mojo. Baby, y'all have been tearing me up. My God, but
People just be having their nerve, man. They just be
I'm
having their
making
nerve.
this video to formally
Facts.
apologize to Michael.
And I guess my problem is just that it just didn't seem very genuine. Nothing about that seems genuine at all.
Listen to me. She's attractive to somebody for sure. She's not hideous. She's not like. There's definitely. I know. I got some homeboys that'll take her down tonight. But girl, man, on the internet, people just had their nerve, man. They got their nerve. They be confident. People walk out chest out every day outside, just confident.
Yeah. I would like to see how many dislikes it got for having 36 likes. 12,000 views. 12,000 views, and she included a link for blackmentalhealth.com/donate.
Oh, how nice.
She's doing her due diligence. Okay. So I told you the story splits in two ways. Her life is shit now because everybody knows her. Yeah, everybody knows her as a piece of shit, liar, and terrible apologizer. But from what I've seen, and this is not necessarily correlated to the situation, but it happened within the same week, Michael also released this TikTok. If it wants to play. TikTok, what are we doing? I'll refresh it. There we go.
The library stories, the real life library stories of the library kids and library grown-ups enjoying their local library, remembering the truth that they belong in their local library just as they are. And every time I tell these stories I love to tell, you all, my friends, are consistent about commenting PBS and PBS Kids, and I love you for it. It is so kind. And guess what? PBS also noticed. They noticed and they reached out to me. I am going to become PBS's resident librarian for a social media series. I'm going to be sharing stories of library joy and book joy. I'm going to be offering up book suggestions, talking about literacy, talking all about the joys of libraries and books, and I can't wait. I'm so excited, and it's all thanks to you.
So my boy got himself a job. He got himself a job. Thanks to the people in the comments from tagging PBS and PBS Kids, he is now going to be on PBS's platform, their online social media platform, telling great stories, giving book recommendations, and things of that nature. Amazing. The type of feel-good story that we need. A black man got a job. Even though he resigned from his other job, he got himself a good job with PBS promoting literacy. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Shout out to Michael.
So even though there's a lot of bullshit going on with that situation, I'm glad I can end it on a good note. So shout out to that. Okay, on to my 2 L's, the last things I got to talk about, and I got to be completely honest with you. I don't refer to these as
take Whitney Williams. Whitney Williams is crazy.
I saw that. Bruh, she looks very AI is hilarious. Okay. I refer to these L's as, I know you hate it, the horny police segment, because I have to. I have to. It's been a while since we've done the horny police, and so there you are. Okay. The first story that I have to talk about is it's just about the Biden administration, right? We've had to deal with a lot of bullshit from the Biden administration. Specifically in the last election cycle, we dealt with a lot of pandering, right? A lot of pandering. And I'm being serious about this, right? The man came out in front of his Hispanic constituents one time and played Despacito.
Despacito.
On his phone, right? Kamala accepted a call from Joe Biden and she was wearing Timbs. Like, we dealt with a lot of pandering.
Those weren't Timbs.
Sorry, boneless Timbs.
Those were Sears specials.
Boneless Timberlands.
Steel toe workman's boots.
But you get my point. Like, we just dealt with a lot of bullshit pandering from them. Even to the point where Joe Biden said, you ain't black if you don't vote for me.
If you don't vote for me, you don't vote for Joe, you're not black.
Insane, right? Insane. And so my plea to our people is that, look, don't take the bait. Don't fall for the pandering, because he's coming in this election season strong with the pandering already. And you may be asking yourself, well, what did he say? What did he do that's so pandery already? Joe Biden was quoted as telling people what was the key to a good marriage. Now, before I get into what it was, just know, even if it's stereotypically, black people, my people, supposedly enjoy a healthy sexual appetite, which is why I feel that this is pandering, right? Joe Biden said,
if you feel like he said it because of that, then it's just racist. It's not even pandering. That's like violently racist.
Joe Biden said,
in here. I better say sex.
Joe Biden said the key to a lasting marriage is good sex. No, the fuck you didn't, Joe Biden. You were 81, okay? You are not having good sex to this point. So that is not a key to your lasting marriage. Otherwise, Jill would have left you a long ass time ago. No, the fuck, it's not the key to your lasting marriage. You are lying. That's cat.
Years younger than Joe Biden too. So like just the visual. Oh, I want that.
That's cap. Either that's cap or she's having good sex with someone else. It's not your 81-year-old.
Good sex. That was the point. Yeah, that we missed the context. See, we didn't see the forest through the trees.
Something.
She needs to have good sex.
Something, because there's no way the key to you having a lasting marriage now in 2024 is good sex. That's cap. That's lie. You're lying.
The Cialis is strong enough.
You're lying. You are fucking lying, and I don't accept that. And it might be for that reason alone that you lose some votes this year, because I'm not trying to hear about Joe Biden's good sex. Okay,
like I can't imagine that you couldn't remember when you was vice president, but you could still fuck. That don't go together. That don't go together at all.
You know,
you're not laying it down if you can't remember when your son died or when or when you were vice president. You're just not.
You know, you can't even tell me what room you're in right now. You want me to believe that you're out here having good sex with Jill Biden? Nope. Not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. It's bullshit. That is bullshit. But I'll tell you what. That story is wild, but this next story is even crazier. And not only that, but like an onion, it has layers. Shout out to Shrek. This story is so wild. And like I said, I was supposed to tell this story last week. And because we got on the couch and everything and the hype for that, I completely forgot about this story. But I did not forget about it this week. Okay. We have previously talked about this person a couple times. A few times on this channel. But most recently, and I can't find the clip, maybe I took it out of W's and L's when I talked about it, or maybe we talked about it in passing. I don't know. But the last time I talked about this person is because they had an OnlyFans. Okay? So, sticking with the theme of the Horny Police segment. Last time I talked about this person, they had an OnlyFans, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. On this podcast, we don't take black people having employment for granted at all, right? We don't laugh when black people lose their employment here on the pod. It's not a good time.
We hate them.
It's not a good time to be had, right? And so I just want to preface this situation by a black woman losing her job is not funny. But this situation is hilarious, okay? Shit. Rachel Dolezal.
Oh my God!
Lost her.
The hell out of you. Talking about a black woman losing her job. Shut the hell up.
Rachel Dolezal lost her Arizona teaching job because they found out she had an OnlyFans.
Oh my
she
God.
was busting that thing wide open on the internet, and they fired her ass.
She doesn't go by.
Oh,
you know. Go by Rocha Dozo anymore. She had a whole African name.
You know, damn, that was part of the rollout that I was going to just keep going into.
My bad.
No, you good.
But you know what's so fucked up about this is that, like, if she would just get the fuck out the public eye, she could legitimately live her life as a black woman and just not tell nobody. She absolutely could. Like, look at her. If that was your light skinned auntie, you couldn't. I wouldn't question it.
Sure,
I wouldn't question it.
Sure,
but she cannot abandon the caucasity within her. And she can't stop running her damn mouth.
Facts.
She can't stop reminding everybody that she's a white woman pretending to be a black woman.
Yeah.
Like, if this was truly your identity and this is who you want to be, bruh, go on and live your life and try to be forgotten. But, like, creating an OnlyFans when you were Rachel Dolezal, man, fam, stop. You swept the nation for identifying as black. You can't have an OnlyFans and people not know.
Facts.
Lucky you had that teaching job and nobody found out who the fuck you was.
That's also a fact. In Arizona, of all places. Okay. So then you are already aware of the second layer of this story is the fact that, yes, she did in fact change her name, and her new name is Nkechi Diallo. Her white name, Rachel Dolezal, was not good enough. She had to go get a Wakandan name.
Nkechi Diallo is nuts. That sounds like a third-round draft pick to the NBA. Nkechi Diallo from Senegal.
Diallo is
part of the NBA's ambassador program in Senegal.
Oh, when I found that out, I cried laughing. I was like, nope, I'm bringing this to the pod. Okay? Hilarious.
And then secondly, was the OnlyFans race play? Is that what it was? Was
I
it
still
like,
don't know the answer to that, unfortunately.
oh,
I've only seen one picture. It was all blurred out, but it was. I'm assuming she was naked in it. So like, I didn't see. I'm not looking for any video. All right. I'm assuming she's spreading it open for the internet to see, but I'm not. I can't look for that. I'm
she
good.
probably running discounts now, but she just got fired. She need to get that OnlyFans
That's
popping.
a fact. Okay. So I told you this has layers. So there's still even more layers that I need to point out. Upon doing research for the podcast, right? I saw that her name was now Nkechi Diallo. And so I'm like, all right, what does Nkechi Diallo mean? It has to mean something, right? Like she didn't just stumble upon that name. It means something. And so I Googled it. And let me zoom in. I'm going to read this whole part. Rachel Dolezal legally changed her name in October to reflect the heritage she claims she identifies with. The 39-year-old white former NAACP leader filed to change her name to Nkechi Amari Diallo, according to court documents in Spokane, Washington.
Nkechi Amari? Oh, my God.
Nkechi, short for Nkechi Nyeri, or I don't know if that's how you say it, but somebody will correct me if needed, comes from the Igbo word for what God has given or gift of God. There is no way you changed your name to gift of God, what God has given. There is no way. You're literally spitting in God's face when you say that you're black because you're white. God, the gift that God gave you is white privilege, and you spit in his face because you want to be black.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That is something else. Boy.
Insane. Okay. And then the last part of this thing says, Dolezal tweeted Wednesday afternoon that the story behind my name change will be in my book. That is her next move. At some point, she's going to write a book, and I will be reading that.
Hey, fam, if they make this into a movie, I'm there opening night.
I have to.
There opening night. I have to be. I have to. This sounds like Pain and Gain. Only nobody's died yet.
Facts. Oh my God, that whole thing was insane. When I first heard about her first getting fired, then I heard about her name change, and then that, I had to bring it to the pod. Had to. That is all I have. That is it.
We gotta talk about one more thing, man. There was another Usher moment.
Okay, we are talking about that. I did almost forget about that. I did.
Yeah, man, that was cringy.
What is bro's name?
Omale.
Yep, boom.
Ooh, that was cringy.
Very cringy.
See, first of all, I think this is why a couple should stop going to concerts together.
That's a fact.
Nothing good comes of it.
That is insane.
Yeah, y'all.
Then
and you know what's crazy though? He not really even doing much back there behind them.
Oh shit!
When their shadows are showing, like there was an angle of them from the side of the stage, so you can actually see what was going on back there.
Yeah,
it wasn't a whole lot of like it seemed from the shadows. It didn't go down exactly like that. But man, God bless this brother, man. It don't even be so bad, like if people don't make it that bad after the fact. Yeah. But it just explodes on the internet. It's almost to the point where like I would like to see male performers stop doing that. Because like y'all know now at this point, like y'all know what it is. It may have been something different at some point. You may wait around for it to become that again. That's not what it is now. It is a open invitation for that man to be ceremonially embarrassed all over the interwaves.
You know here's my question
you don't need that.
Usher clearly played a part in the Kiki situation, but I felt like at some level Kiki was more to blame. Well, not even more to blame. It was almost equal. Whereas this situation, yeah, he brought her on stage, but she started wilding the second she got behind that sheet.
She crying, she doing all of this shit, ran over to wait for the security. The security wasn't even over ready to let you out yet, and you couldn't get away from your man fast enough.
Facts.
You should have been like, can my man come with me? Can he come? Can he come too?
No, bitch. Hell no. Fuck no.
She's saying that the performer was telling her to come on stage, and she forgot her relationship completely.
She
Like
did.
her relationship went out the window.
And the second the sheet
She's
went
a
up,
very,
she was ready to go.
but she did make an apology video that I didn't watch all the way through, and it sounds like she's made an apology to him. So maybe they're not broken up or anything
I
like
think
that.
the apology video came after she tried to get Kai to pay her to come on to his stream. And then, yes, like he asked her to come on to like explain her side of the story, and then she was like,
And she
"Well,
was like, "You gonna pay me?"
I need to be compensated for my appearance." This is like, bitch, people are gonna forget about this in less than a week. Why do you think you're about to get paid?
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel worse about the apology now because the apology would have been amplified much higher.
Well, and then
if you really meant to
that's a fact.
apologize to the world for
That's a fact.
for your man.
And
Now
then
it makes me feel weird about the apology.
And then on top of that, so when she said that shit, Kai instead had the guy on, and then they did like a 20 versus 1. And he supposedly found a girl, I guess. I didn't watch it, but that's what he decided to do instead of having that girl
Oh, did
on.
they get broken? Did they break up then? Maybe if he out there.
Supposedly.
Well, no, that was probably his get back. That was probably his get back.
I think from what I heard, they were only dating for less than a year. I think. So
I mean,
it doesn't
what does
really
that
matter.
mean?
Still
Less than a year
disrespect.
could be a couple of months.
Still
That could
disrespect.
be 9 months.
Yeah, no, I think that whole situation is still disrespectful. No matter if you were on the first date or, you married.
Yeah, I mean,
That's still wild to do. So, yeah, no, we did have to talk about that.
Just some advice to our female viewership. There's nothing less attractive from a potential partner or just a woman in general than instantly turning into a groupie for somebody who got some status or some money. That is an instant turn off.
Facts.
Like sometimes even if they're doing it towards you, it is an instant turn off. When you go too easily, sometimes you don't get got.
Can I put an amendment on that?
Go ahead.
Because it seems that as of recently, guys are doing the same fucking thing. So, hey, guys, stop being groupies to niggas who are much more successful than you. Just stop being groupies in general. I'm sure that's very attractive for women as well. But it's super weird as a guy seeing other guys fan out over Lil Baby. Oh my God, it's Lil Baby. Come here, let me. Like, come on, chill out, relax. All right, behind the cape. If I can stop this screen and
I need to take a bathroom break.
A bathroom break, bro. What's up?
I shall be back, chat.
What's up with you? That's some old nigga shit.
Oh yeah, because I can't sit down for 2 hours and not pee.
It's been an hour and 18 minutes.
Right, and if I don't take it now, I'm gonna pee myself.
That's insane. It's insane. He's an old man, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. Me, I'm 23, so whatever. Mute your mic, Marcus. I got it. Boom. Anyway, shout out to chat. Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all finally showed up. Cause I don't know what was going on for the first few minutes of W's and L's. Y'all were like not talking. I don't like that shit. All right, let's see what we got here. What did I miss? Who will be second all time in 3-pointers made? Because we know it's Wardell at number 1. All time? Is it Ray Allen? It's Ray Allen. And then Reggie Miller, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of those. It's top 3 is Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, and Wardell at number 1. Back of the bus, y'all heard the rumors that Ryan Coogler's vampire movie is gonna have the KKK in it. Relax. We're gonna get into behind the cape. Is it called Club Tay Tay? You know what? I thought that instead of calling it, what did they call it? The Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks podcast shouldn't have been called Too Personal. Is that what it was called? I already forgot. It should have been called Taylor Made, is what I thought. But Club Tay Tay is good. I like that. Good thinking, Chillmonger variant. Let's see here. Bruh, she looks very AI as nuts. She had on some Rocky Mountain Ranger boots. That she did. Bro, they were Timberlands. I don't know what he was talking about. Let's see. What the fuck was her name? What's the vice president's name, y'all? Kamala Harris. Timberland. Like, they're not like the typical 6-inch Timberland boot. And of course, nobody's zooming in on it. Yeah, nobody has a good zoom in on it. Ah well. Ah well. I can't find it. Anyway, he's back, chat. We're all good.
Did you mute me?
Of course I did. Chillmonger told me to mute you
Oh.
because he thought that the bathroom was probably nearby. I'm assuming. All right.
That would have been embarrassing.
That would have been embarrassing. Anyway. Okay. So I got the screen. How do I pull it up here? Boom. Okay. Behind the cape. First thing we're going to talk about: an unnamed Disney exec has come out with some crazy quotes that we must discuss.
We are going to discuss, and then we're going to predict who said them as well.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's just get right on to the quote. Everyone says it's the movie's stupid, which is an easy thing for people to say. More appealing movies are a great way to jump to political issues, but more and more our audience, or the segment of the audience that has been politicized, equate the perceived messaging in a film as a quality issue. They won't say they find female empowerment distasteful in the Marvels or Star Wars, the latest trilogy starring Daisy Ridley, but they will say that they don't like these movies because they're bad. So make better movies because becomes code for make movies that conform to regressive gender stereotypes or put men front and center in the narrative. Basically, you don't believe that our movies are bad. You believe that we are doing something different in female empowerment in our movies. And that's what you really hate, but you don't want to say
If
that.
you don't like, if you don't like what we're doing, you're an istorophobe.
Yes.
Of
Yep.
some sort. Of some sort. And it really, this is the same school of thought that superhero fatigue comes from. It's the same school of thought that led us to not having a T'Challa. It's the same school of thought that has Thor being a galactic babysitter for his villain. Yeah, it is it's brain rot.
Oh, yes.
It's really stupid because even the most wokeified woke chasers on the internet, and y'all know who they are, right? Even they sometimes, not a lot, because it's easier just to say woke, but sometimes they will go in depth with what it is that they don't like about the movie, what was stupid, characterizations, lack of callbacks to lore, completely alienating lore, you know, short arcs of ascension, poor character development, poor dialogue, poor cinematography, poor VFX effects, overuse of the volume. I mean, there is a million things that you can criticize Disney on before you get to the social messaging stuff. Now, let's attack that head on. Let's say that the particular way that Disney is going about pushing their social message, which is more so of my thinking, as opposed to what the message actually is altogether. How I would respond to that is it is more successful, and it's already been proven, right, by you currently and by regimes past. It is more successful to put female characters in the same traditionally in the same traditional archetypes that already existed before you started allowing women to be in the movies at all. So if the Steve McQueen archetype or James Dean in A Rebel Without a Cause or James Bond or the underdog like the Rookie or Shawshank Redemption with Andy Dufresne or what's another underdog movie?
Radio.
Braveheart, Radio. Okay, Jesus Christ. Any of those archetypes already exist, right? They have long film portfolios on characters that have been played in that exact same structure. So why all of a sudden, when we turn our focus to elevating female characters, is the conventional wisdom not give those female characters the same archetypes, make them struggle, make them relatable, make them triumph, cheer them. End of movie. Why is it so much harder for you to do that for James Bond than you would for Juliana? You know why? Because your method of delivery fucking sucks. Art and content creation is not a breeding ground for politics. You know why? Because if I am a politician and I want you to get to my political thought, the first thing I'm going to do is challenge you. I'm going to challenge your way of thinking. I'm going to challenge your perspective. I'm going to challenge your way of thought. No one goes to movies to have that happen. No one goes and buys $12 to have a dissertation brought to them in movie form, in the form of what was supposed to be lighthearted children's content. Nobody wants that. The greatest intersection between activist and creator happens when they don't even know that they're being preached to. When your perspective or your thought process is being laid out in front of an audience and they don't even realize that it's political. Hell, these goofs don't realize that the 30 years of Star Wars that preceded them was already political. The fucks that are arguing about Star Wars being too political or too female driven sat up there and watched the first 3 episodes of Star Wars with Leia being an absolute badass and being a cornerstone in the franchise. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, you can't have women. No, 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 no. That's not it. We had Carrie Fisher, we had Angelina Jolie, we had Demi Moore, we had Lucy Lawless, we had strong female archetypes. Just all of a sudden, post 2010s, every female archetype had to get to their peak super fast without any type of hardship. And then not only that, you put the extra stank on it of making every male in their orbit idiots. That is what people don't like. Not the natural reorganization of standard gender roles in our society. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Like, actually, who gives a shit? Stepford Wives was made how many fucking years ago when all the wives took the fuck over the town? Talk about reorganizing gender roles, and nobody was calling that movie woke because that word still belonged to black people.
You know what I find interesting is that there is a movie coming out that'll put all of this to shame, right? John Wick, the series is over, and yet the ballerina is coming out, right? And so I think we have enough trust in the people who are making the John Wick movies that they're going to give us a good story, right? And they're not going to heavily politicize it. They're not going to make the other characters around her idiots, right? And it's going to do very well.
How many female characters were in the Continental? You had
A
Richie's girl. You had the sister from the dojo shop.
Mm-hmm.
You had the cop, right? The one who, was in that house that Richie and them blew up.
You had a few.
You had quite a few, right? You had
Mhm.
at least 3 or 4 out of like a 7 or 8 person cast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like any of those characters, those female characters, were put to the side, presented in a hyper misogynistic way, where their bodies overexposed, were they made to be the sidekick or the dummy? Did they not lead enough? In one time, did you hear any of those women go on some feminist diatribe about how men shouldn't lead or anything like that, or how girl power is the best, or how, whatever, vaginas rule, whatever the hell they're trying to put into the dialogue of these movies to make it super clear that they love women? Did you hear any of that in Continental?
No, and I'll give you the one caveat is that the cop was having an affair with the other cop. That was the worst thing.
Yeah.
And she was still a badass.
It seemed like she wasn't just the other woman. She was the one running the plays. Like,
Yeah.
hey, give me what I want before I come up and blow up your shit. You don't give a damn about your old silly ninny wife. I don't care nothing about her. Hurry up and give me what I need.
Yep.
Right? It's like, it is not impossible to make these characters, whether it be male or female, popular and make them go. It's just that Disney is not doing it well. Period. Like, there's just not. Who's watching Halo right now, chat? Anybody watching Halo? Anybody watching Halo? Riz, Kai, Dr. Halsey in the first season, her daughter, one of the generals on Reach. Like there's tons of female characters all up and down the roster. You know what they're not doing? Reminding you that they're females through the entire show and then expecting you to treat it like it's normal. People come to comic book content for comic book characters. People come to cartoons for cartoons. They don't come there for a feminist diatribe. There are arenas for that are specifically set up for that, to challenge schools of thought. I just don't happen to think that media is one of them. And if you do happen to have a cultural or a social impact, is because you did so successfully through your delivery, not because of your message. So this is horseshit. But
Absolute horseshit.
Let's pick and choose. Let's pick and choose. Who do you think said this?
Disney exec doesn't say anything.
Felix, I knew you was watching Halo. If anybody, I knew Felix. I feel like we got the same watching taste.
Disney exec doesn't say anything about former. I guess that's where my mind will go. There's a couple of former execs, but I don't know.
This is either Kevin Feige or Bob Iger.
You think it's Feige?
They're the two who are in charge of the direction of not just Disney's content, but the flagship of Disney, which is Marvel Studios. So, if they're the two that are driving the narrative as it currently stands, they've gotten everybody else that we think was the problem. Victoria Alonso, Perlmutter, whatever.
I would have said Alonso.
Right? Yeah. So if they're all gone, then the only people who could be continuing this type of content in the way that it's being delivered is either Bob Iger or Kevin Feige. One of them said this.
Well, they did also say Star Wars
to defend their viewpoint.
They did also say Star Wars. So could it have been Kathleen Kennedy?
Who had a Star Wars project that was canceled?
Canceled? Oh,
that was canceled recently.
A couple people.
Your boy Kevin Feige.
Oh yeah.
Remember Kevin Feige Star Wars?
I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep.
But it could be Kathleen Kennedy. It absolutely could. I just actually, you know what? Throw her name in the hat because I could absolutely see her saying this word for word.
Only because it says the Marvels or Star Wars, and that just kind of stuck out to me.
If I had to put some money on it, it's Kevin.
Okay.
I think the writing's kind of already on the wall with Kathleen Kennedy. Like, if something happens with this Rey movie where it doesn't actually make it to the screens, I mean, you talk about solidifying your reputation in the industry as a flopper. Like, I mean, how many projects can you take from one studio?
Yeah.
I still don't know when or if she's ever going to be fired, but would she make an anonymous quote like this? It certainly fits the way that she is making content for sure. She's had some of the more egregious moments. Now, Ahsoka wasn't so bad. Ahsoka wasn't exactly in line with what the rest was going on in Lucasfilm, I feel like. But that was also, I think, the first project that Dave Filoni was heading by himself, so as the creative director or whatever. So I don't know. I'd say Kevin or maybe Kathleen Kennedy. I'll maybe leave Bob Iger out of this because Bob Iger, he'll just come out and say it behind his own name. We've heard him say similar stuff just like this.
Yeah. Blackheart360 says, could it be Nate Moore?
I don't think Nate is allowed to talk this much to the media if it's not about Black Panther.
Maybe that's why it's unnamed.
We literally only hear from Nate Moore if he's talking about Black Panther.
That's fair. That's true.
They don't allow him to speak otherwise, so I don't think it's Nate Moore.
That is true.
I don't think he has the birth to put an anonymous quote into a publication and not be scared shitless that they would come back to him.
Fair enough. All right, more Star Wars news specifically. There is a rumor out that The Acolyte has gotten a release date, which is June 5th, despite the fact that we haven't gotten a trailer.
So the only footage that's been seen on this project was that Star Wars celebration like 2 years ago, I feel like, or a year ago. It was last summer.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, let me start from the beginning. I was definitely on the train of Acolyte is never coming out. Right, definitely there. Have I gotten completely off of that because of this? A tentative start date in June for a project supposed to be coming out in 4 months or a little over 3 months now, but we haven't seen as the public. So unless we paid, to get into Hall H to see what was going, or not Hall H, to Disney Celebration to see what was going on there, we still don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. Have not seen a single second of it. Don't you think you would want to,
See what's going on with it.
started on the marketing? Yeah, it's not like Lucasfilm has the most dazzling reputation right now that they can just rely on word of mouth or reputation. Don't you
Oh
wanna,
my
you wanna
God,
get
Screen
on the
Rant, chill
advertising?
out. Screen Rant got all these ads on it, bruh. Chill out.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
yeah,
I
no.
don't know if I believe it, man. I'll believe it when I see it. When I see a trailer, then I'll believe it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. This one is a shocker. Gladiator 2, the movie coming out, I believe this summer? It doesn't have a date on it. Anyway, Gladiator 2 supposedly has a budget of $310 million. This isn't even the story. Where's the
It
story?
shot up. It went up from 165 to 310. What scene did
Oh, there
they
it
add
is.
to this movie to make it go up to a $310 million budget?
Now, some people say that the strike specifically caused some of the cost. Obviously, I probably think it wouldn't be
Not
most of
not
it.
essentially doubling it though,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
160 to 310.
yeah, yeah. 310 is nuts. Um, for comparison purposes, for those who may not know, in game 350 to 400. Same thing for the new Avatar movie. Yeah, 310 is insane.
For a movie that was largely done through practical shooting in the first film. So I'm really struggling beyond maybe renting some time in the actual Coliseum or some more historical lands that they may not need to shoot on. But
Mm-hmm.
I just for the life of me can't understand what is making this movie. Gladiator? Like, what is making this movie so expensive?
Unexpected production woes and costly delays. That's all they have on here. So I don't
Okay.
think it would balloon it that much, but that's.
I mean that
That's what they're
feels like there's
reporting.
some fiscal irresponsibility in
Oh,
there
for
as
sure,
well.
for sure.
Like I don't, if we realize that, like, all right, we're delaying, maybe some changes need to be made so we can save some money at that point. It seems like somebody was asleep at the wheel to make the budget essentially double. Like, well, okay.
Y'all gonna have to pull in a Billy almost to make it back. So
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're gonna have to make a smooth billion. Start turning a profit.
okay, some Spider-Verse news. It's not really Spider-Verse.
Spider Silk. It was a series Sony
Well, I was gonna
was
say the
working.
other story we got to talk about too, but it's not beyond. It's not Madam Web, so that's
Oh,
the
Spider
important
Man
part.
Noir. We talking about the Nick
Well,
Cage
no, we're
thing?
talking about Silk first, but we got two Spider Verse stories, is what I meant. All right, so Silk Spider Society, according to this article specifically, reportedly scraps the writers' room, but you said there was an article that said it's been canceled, correct?
So what I had been hearing, they were talking about being more male focused,
Okay,
and that may be where the Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir thing is coming in.
could be.
Um, Look, Sony, maybe you should have left the Soap Spider Society and canceled Madam Web. Maybe that would have been the better canceling. Like it just feels like they're chasing their tail.
Yeah,
You have the biggest comic book bomb this year, even bigger than the Flash. Like, come on, man. I thought they were going to have more time at the bottom. Like, didn't think that they would be knocked out that quickly. But clearly, Madam Web said, "Hold my beer." So, like, you canceled the wrong thing, I guess. Like, I haven't even seen anything on Silk Spider, so I have no clue whether or not it was good or not. but
Yeah.
it just feels like you made the wrong decision because the one that you let come out stunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that obviously leads us to Nicolas Cage is reportedly in talks for a live action Spider-Man noir show. Now, Nicolas Cage did play Spider-Man noir in Into the Spider-Verse, so it'd be a natural thing for him to reprise that role, I guess, in the live action version. Interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know whose idea this was, but I'll give you $1 if it sees the TV screen.
sure, sure.
Nick Cage. Okay, so Nick Cage as Spider-Man in an alternate universe that's black and white, where he's a detective. And then what streaming service? Because Sony doesn't have their own streaming service. Who's buying this? You watching Nick Cage be Spider-Man on Netflix?
No,
Are you watching Nick Cage be Spider-Man on Paramount, Peacock, Amazon, Disney Plus?
maybe.
Where are you watching Nick Cage? Okay, here's a better question.
It'd be Disney
Nick
Plus,
Cage
wouldn't it?
as Spider-Man. Well, no, this is a Sony thing, right?
But
I would
isn't
assume.
all the Spider-Man movies isn't that still on Disney Plus now?
I don't know if they have an exclusive deal with them. I don't know if
Sure.
all of their content.
Yeah, it's
has
not
to go
exclusive, but I thought at least for the most part, the Spider-Man movies were
Well,
going.
and it took it a minute too. Like they weren't on there
Well, you know what?
for
This
a
is
while.
a
All the
series.
Spider-Man movies weren't on there all the time.
Yeah, and
And
this is a series,
right?
Yeah, yeah. I guess they got leverage to move it around if they want to.
What streaming service could convince you to get a subscription to watch Nicolas Cage as Detective Spider-Man or Spider-Man?
Considering I have a subscription to everything, but I
No,
think
okay,
Disney Plus
obviously,
now.
pretend that you don't.
I would watch it on Amazon. I would watch it on Apple TV, and maybe Paramount.
Yeah, Amazon still has stuff to prove for me.
Do they after The Boys and Invincible?
Apple TV is criminally underrated right now.
Sure,
For sure.
sure.
Um,
But what does Amazon have to prove to you, at least in this genre specifically, that The Boys and Invincible hasn't done
well,
already?
what they've done with their characters has been, or excuse me, the characters that they've had so far, the Kripke characters,
Mm-hmm.
has been very successful. What can they do with mainstream comic book characters where the restrictions are a little bit higher, where they
Sure.
can't have their main character tearing off a human's head?
Yeah.
You know, they can kind of push the limits with the boys. They can't do that in the Marvel verse.
That's fair.
So, with the limitations, are you still able to make a good show? Let's see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no.
I got faith in Apple TV. I would pick up an Apple TV subscription for that.
And I mean, I don't think Nicolas Cage would be that bad at Spider-Man Noir. It's just
I think
who's making the series would be kind of crazy.
I just don't need this show.
I don't need it either, but I'd watch it if it.
And they're going to spend a bunch
if it
of money
became
because it's Nicolas Cage.
Oh yeah, they're going to spend a lot of money on it, but I'd at least watch it because it's either going to be a train wreck or it's going to be actually okay.
A train wreck would be where my money is, but
Then if it's a train wreck, it's kind of I kind of want to see it.
My question is, why are we still adding more projects that aren't live action Miles Morales?
You got me on that one.
Why are we still making more products that have nothing to do with Tom Holland Spider? Like, if I was Tom Holland, if the reports of him signing a new deal with Marvel and Sony are real, I for the life of me don't understand why he would resign it. Why? You get to make 1 to 2 Marvel MCU movies a decade, and then you're shelved by Sony. Why would I do that? These are my most valuable years. Like, get me out there as Spider-Man. I would want to be on Spider-Man on every property they got.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not solidify yourself as the quintessential Spider-Man, Spider-Man? He's shown up on film and television as Spider-Man. I don't know why people are so afraid to cross that barrier. I feel like it would immortalize you as the character if you were to ever do it.
I agree. All right, we got one last story that kind of ties a few of the stories that we've been talking about in the past weeks together, which Also, we didn't mention this in the little pre-stream meeting, but did you hear the latest rumor about the Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler?
Oh boy. Nope.
Okay. Well, it came from who is that publication that nobody actually respects? I'm just have to find
CNN,
it.
MSNBC, Fox
No,
News.
for comic book movie news.
Oh.
Starts with a D, I think. Why can't I think?
Is it discussing film?
No. I'll find it. Oh, it's Fandom Wire. Fandom Wire.
Fandom Wire.
Okay. So before we get into the actual story that I was talking about, this is the rumor is that it could become controversial for Warner's Brothers due to its rumor plot. Let's just get down to the nitty. There was this rumor just recently that Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, and Warner Brothers joined hands for another possibility of a vampire movie. But then, as always, it will not be a regular vampire movie. As for this project, the vampires will fight against the KKK or the other way around, with the KKK as the vampires hunting colored people. Yeah.
What did we say? What did I say last time we talked about this? that if the fucking vampires was fighting for civil rights, I was gonna walk out the theater, right?
Yep. You did say that.
Ryan, it's 2024, brother. It's 2024. As much as everybody would love to see you and Michael, well, a lot of people who are not me, but would love to see you and Michael B. Jordan reunite forces in the way of the vampire. I do not think that they anticipated it going through another quintessential American black movie dealing with slavery in some way, or shape, or form, dealing with racism. Like, you mean to tell me even in the supernatural world we can't escape racism? We still gotta be squarely in the middle of racism, even as all powerful beings who live forever. Racism still affects us. Damn, it's something else being black, boy. I tell you what. Yeah, I no longer want to see this movie.
Oh, so you did want to see the movie at one point?
I was going to see it for sure.
Okay.
If it has anything to do with racism, racist slavery, why the fuck would I want? Why do I want to see a racist vampire movie? I don't want to see kill racist vampires. Because then that means that you're going to, at some point, have to have those racist vampires doing violence against black people in the movie. And that's not something I want to fucking see. Sure. Honestly, it's something that I'm quite sick of seeing in your movies altogether. Yeah. It's just repetitive violence against black people all the way up through your films. I'm just kind of over it. And then if you are the vampire being hunted by the KKK, who exactly should I root for in that situation? like the humans of which I am, or the vampires? Who the fuck am I supposed to root for? At that point, now you are validating racist white propaganda. See, they are monsters. We do gotta put them down.
Yeah. No, it's a problem. It's definitely a problem. And like I said before, the more and more I hear about this movie, the wackier the whole thing just kind of gets. Okay.
But then again, this is Fandom Wire, so let's take it with the requisite grain of salt.
Sure. But twin Michael B. Jordan vampires set in the 1930s in the Jim Crow era, going against the KKK is insane.
Hey, but now let's talk about the article though.
Okay.
Why would that? I mean, I guess I definitely understand why it would be unpopular. But what is controversial for Warner Brothers in that? Like, what would put Warner Brothers in a spot of controversy around that to show black people fighting the KKK? What exactly is the point of controversy?
I think they try to answer that. Oh, the subjects could be racism, violence, oppression, and resistance, but all this would be in a horror setup. Being in the early stage, blah, blah, blah. The consequences that the studio might face bashing from the audience and critics, coming out as disrespectful, crude, or exploitative, as the plot, source material, and adaptations are making fun of movements for social justice.
Well, that's Ryan's idea. I would do exactly what Kevin Feige and them did, and Nate Moore did with his ass when he came to them with that. Go talk to him. Hey, this was really Ryan's decision. We didn't think about it a whole lot. Ryan told me what he wanted, and we just did it. Ryan was very passionate about what he wanted to do with this movie. He had a great idea. Ryan really wrote everything. Ryan really had a lot of great ideas. Ryan. I'd say his name as many times as I could. So when this movie come out, y'all know
You know
exactly
to
who made
blame.
it.
Yeah.
Y'all know exactly who made it.
No, for sure, for sure. That's insane. Okay, so like I said, the story that we're about to talk about encompasses that in one way. It encompasses the Paramount Plus discussion that we had, I think, a week or two ago, and basically that I didn't pick an article. Anyway, basically WB. Let me change this real quick. WB and Discovery are now in talks, or will be in talks in April, to merge with somebody. Now, they've already done some sort of merger, which made them WB Discovery, but they're potentially going to be in talks in April about merging again. And we already said that Paramount Plus was looking for some potential suitors to merge with, but that's also apparently why they are scooping up and buying so many different pieces of content, including the Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler film. So very interesting to say the least that they're looking to merge
I
again.
think their plan is just to get as big as possible. They can't dominate the market with quality, so they're going to dominate it with just buying everything.
Sure.
They are doing what Disney did in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
What Disney start doing in the late 90s is what Warner Brothers is attempting to do now. Now, is this to make themselves attractive to be bought at some point by a tech giant? That could be anybody's game. But I something feels like it's not necessarily to dominate the market because they're not well, maybe that was the point with the whole Ryan Coogler thing is to start taking some of the industry's best talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And locking them down. Maybe that was the idea with this whole Ryan Coogler thing. That could
potentially.
be it. If they're trying to be the new biggest game in town, it's not like they haven't been at one point in film history in the United States. They're
Sure.
trying to regain that market share over from Disney and their waning moments. Then that I mean they're going about it the only way that they possibly can. Because once again, making blockbusters is not necessarily in the Warner Brothers tank these days.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think when we talked about the Paramount Plus thing, we kind of broke down that I think in terms of market share, obviously, I think Amazon has the highest, considering the fact that it's Amazon Prime, but then you get video with it.
In
And then
terms of
there's
streaming services, yeah,
and then
or
there's
Netflix maybe.
well, Netflix is
Netflix
like
is probably a little bit
right
higher,
there. Netflix is like right there, whether they're a little bit higher or a little bit lower. They're like neck and neck almost. And then after
and they've
that, it's
been
a free
around
for all.
longer.
Yeah.
They've been around longer.
And so then after that, it's a free for all for the most part. And nobody really has a good foot on it, but whoever wins out of them will be probably that third. And then, after a while, we're going to stop supporting any other streaming service.
I think ultimately you're right. We will end up with only maybe like 3 or 4 major streaming services, and then you'll have your Plutos, your Tubies, your the smaller stuff, the
Yeah.
Fubo, that kind of supplement it like a secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of getting first line grade A content, is it's going to be only 2 or 3, maybe 4 providers when it's all said and done. Because they're just first of all, I don't think there's enough customers for them all to share.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think there's enough customers for them all to share that people who watch TV exclusively online, regardless of what people keep telling you about the dying cable industry, there are still millions of people in each one of these markets that are still buying cable.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep trying to convince you that cable cord cutting shit is going to tank the industry, and it hasn't died yet. In fact, they're going through, meaning streaming, is going through a harder time than cable ever went through.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I do ultimately think that they'll eat each other, and then the strongest will be what's left over.
It's eat or get eaten for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which we'll see how that plays out. That's why Disney obviously merged with Hulu, and that's why WB is looking to make moves. That's why Paramount Plus is looking to make moves. They want to be on top as opposed to be getting eaten. So we'll see who ends up on top for that. Chillmonger said basically don't mainstream the Klan. I think it is wrong to highlight the KKK in a movie, even if they play the villains. There are people who didn't know them that well.
That's a fact. I don't see why they need to even be brought up. Everybody knows who the KKK is. We don't need to reignite their presence through our American media,
Yeah.
our Western media. We don't need to reignite the KKK.
Especially when you can tell the story without that.
It can, yeah, exactly.
Gray said, "Damn, he called it." Yeah, you did kind of call the fact that there's gonna be
Trying to
some
tell
bullshit
y'all.
in this film. Somebody's gonna watch this. LOL. I mean, yeah. Michael B. Jordan
Oh,
fans and Coogler fans.
it's
Coogler
a few.
stands.
It's a few of y'all's reviewers that y'all be cheating on us with. That's gonna love. They gonna eat that shit up, boy. They might make t-shirts and everything.
Yo. Okay. Anyways, on that note, was there anything else that we had to talk about? Anything that we should probably discuss? I think we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's it for me, man. And we gonna keep it under 2 hours.
Look at that.
Great.
Look at how we did that.
Great.
Well, on that note, we will catch y'all next week. Shout out to y'all for joining the stream, and shout out to y'all if you are watching the replay. And on that note,